Good morning. Hopefully your Wednesday is off to a good start. I'm glad that you're going to spend a portion of it with me. A good second cup of coffee and a USS North Carolina mug. For the last little bit now, I've been talking about difficult passages of the Bible, and we're going to continue along the same vein this morning. And by the way, if there are particular topics or passages you'd like for me to address on Wednesday morning, post that in the comments. So for this morning, I've picked a text which is difficult. It's hard because of the way it makes Jesus look at. I mentioned this last week. There are some passages that are hard because it's hard to interpret it. Like, what actually is this text trying to say? And then there are some that are hard because they're difficult. They're difficult for us to live out. Passages are hard for different reasons. Some are hard simply because they challenge us. They step on our toes a little bit. And then there's this one which is hard because at first blush, Jesus comes off looking bad. So, for today, the faith of the Canaanite woman, the Syro-Phoenician woman. I'm going to read this to you from Mark's account. This is from Mark 7:24-30. And from there he arose and went away to the region of Tyre and Sidon, and entered a house, and did not want anyone to know, yet he could not be hidden. But immediately a woman whose little daughter had an unclean spirit heard of him, and came and fell down at his feet. Now the woman was a Gentile, a Syro-Phoenician by birth, and she begged him to cast the demon out of her daughter. And he said to her, "Let the children be fed, for it is not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs." But she answered him, "Yes, Lord, yet even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." And he said to her, "For this statement you may go your way. The demon has left your daughter." And she went home and found the child lying in bed, and the demon gone. This story also appears in the Gospel of Matthew. It's in Matthew with Pharisees. And then from that, he goes away to the region of Tyre and Sidon. And the way Mark and Matthew tell the story is very similar. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. And so, what do we do with this? What do we do with it? The difficult portion is, of course, that Jesus refers to the woman as a dog. And my understanding is that the Greek term there that gets translated as dog is, it would mean more like a mongrel. It's not a cute little puppy, so it's not a term of endearment. And so this makes Jesus look bad. And what do we do with it? Well, I take it as a given, just for myself, I take it as a given that if Jesus is the sinless Son of God, if he was sinless, that Jesus is not a racist. I take that as a given. Taking it as a given that Jesus isn't a racist, what do we do? So let's think about where he was. He is going to the region of Tyre and Sidon. Tyre and Sidon is Canaanite. It's not just Gentile, but it's Canaanite. It's what you might call enemy territory. The wicked Queen Jezebel from the Old Testament who had introduced idolatry, or really foisted idolatry onto the kingdom of Israel, was a princess from Sidon. Tyre and Sidon, just that was enemy territory. It was sort of good Jews did refer to them as dogs, and the enmity was mutual. They hated each other. Jews and Canaanites from up there, they hated each other. Good Jews referred to them as dogs, and the Canaanites didn't have much love lost for Jews either. And Jesus goes up there to escape attention. He tries to slip away. So just for instance, imagine back in many years ago, I went with a good friend of mine to a State Carolina football game in Carter-Finley Stadium. I'm a Carolina grad. Carter-Finley Stadium that's like enemy territory. I went to the game to watch, and it'd be similar to a good state grad going to Kenan Stadium, or you're going to the arena, to the stadium of your rival. Now that's sort of what's going on here. Jesus he's in enemy territory, but he does not escape attention. The woman sees him and somehow recognizes him for who he is, and we're not told how she recognizes him or how she knows him. We don't know that. And she asked him to heal her demon-possessed daughter, to which Jesus says that it's not right to throw the children's bread to the dogs. The children in this case, we could think of the children of Israel, and of course good Israelites, good Jews, were considered Canaanites up there to be dogs. So what do we do with it? First, let's recognize that the Bible does not give us tone of voice. We can, when we read any passage, we can read it with several different tones of voice. So I'd like to think that it's warranted to imagine Jesus saying this, but saying this almost with a wink in his eye. And notice that the woman does not walk away offended. She really just plays along. Okay, Jesus, if I'm a dog, I'll play along with that. But even dogs eat. Even dogs get fed. And let's think about this too. Why didn't Jesus immediately heal the young girl? Jesus, he healed a lot of people, and healing was a significant portion of his ministry, but he didn't just blanket heal everyone in the area. He wasn't a, as we might call it, a roving medical missionary. There were a lot of people alive at the time whom he didn't heal. As far as we know, he never sent anyone away without being healed, anyone that came to him. But you remember that he was first sent to the Jews, to the children of Israel. He was sent first to Israel. God had called Abram, and told him that your descendants are going to be a blessing to the rest of the world. In your descendants, all the rest of the world will be blessed. Abraham's descendants failed to do that. They were not faithful, perfect Israel. and he was sent first to them. It's sort of built in that the message goes to Israelites and then to Gentiles. Like Jesus, his last words, near the last words in Luke, you will be in Jerusalem, Judea, and to the ends of the earth. Jerusalem, Judea, to the ends of the earth. And the message did go out to the ends of the earth. It did go out to the ends of the earth. That's how he, technically a Gentile, is a Christian now. Is in the people of God. But the message going out to the ends of the earth, going out to broadly the Gentile world, is, as we might put it, it's a preview of coming attractions. So the woman plays along with him. But Lord, even dogs eat from the children's bread. And Matthew's account adds this. That Jesus recognizing her faith, recognizing that she had great faith. And both Mark and Matthew, the daughter is healed, but Matthew specifies that Jesus acknowledging her great faith, and Jesus always responds to great faith. And so if there's a takeaway from this, if there's a takeaway from this story, whether one reads it from Mark or from Matthew, it is this: not so much that Jesus called her a dog, but rather that true faith is not a matter of birthright. True faith is not a matter of birthright. It's or is it a club that we can use to wield against other people, as the Pharisees of Jesus attempted to do from time to time. True faith is and always has been the rest of your day.